changes.
Well, hello everypony, and welcome to the Pony Talk Podcast, episode 20, guys. Wow. Our 20th episode of this podcast. And I remember when I first started this podcast, and we were on episode 3. We didn't quite make it to the 2 first episodes starting off season 7. But, guys, we have hit the 20th episode here on the channel of Pony Talk. Wow. I'm just gonna say that's crazy. But guys, we have episode 19 of season 7, Friendship is Magic. It isn't the main thing about you. Alright, so that is the title of the episode, and yeah. So, we're going to jump right into this and, yeah, let it begin. So, the episode begins where we have ponies crowding, and we have ponies actually freaking out at this portion because of a flower booth, flower setup that they had there, I guess for quote-unquote Mayor's Day, I think it's called. But anyway, they're over here freaking out, and the people or ponies that are running it, we have Daisy, Lily Valley, and Rose's flower stand, and yes, Mayor's Day, and the customers are freaking out because they don't know what flowers to get for their special mayors, I guess, or something like that. But anyway, they don't know what to do, but a very lovely pony that we all know and pretty much enjoy, steps in, and that would be Rarity. She comes in and sees what the fuss is all about, and I think Rose says, "Oh, Rarity, we're glad you're here. We need help, giving these ponies flowers that they want." And this is where Rarity's like, "Oh, I have an idea. Maybe you can color coordinate them, match their manes just like how mine is. You know, it's lovely, beautiful. Match it up here. Purple is like a really good color." And they're like, "That's it." And so they sell and sell and sell, and every customer is basically satisfied. And then this is where I think Rose says, "Oh, Rarity, you have just made my day 10 times easier. What can we do for you?" And she's like, "Oh, I would like this bouquet of flowers." And they look, and they only have one bouquet of flowers, but it's not quite to Rarity's taste. And they kind of give her like a smile and said, "Anything for you, Rarity. We'll put something together for you." And Rarity's like, "Well, thank you." And she trots off to her next location, which is, oh god, I think it's, Quills and Sofas, I think it's the place name, and we really haven't been there, but, Rarity is looking for a sofa, and I guess they don't have one in her taste, so she looks around, and she's like, "Oh," she's like, "I'm thinking of a pale yellow sofa. Do you think you have one?" And they're like, "We're gonna see what we can do about that. Maybe we'll have one shipped in." And she's like, "It needs to go a lot like my mane and all that." So she's referencing her mane again, and they're like, "We'll have something set up for you." And she's like, "Alright, thank you." And she's like, "Alright, now off to Pinky's," because she wanted to check on, cupcakes, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. She goes to Sugar Cube Corner for a reason, and she runs into Pound Cake and Pumpkin Cake. Have 2 little cupcakes with candles, and Rarely's like, "Oh my, am I bothering something?" And Pinky's like, "No, we're celebrating Pound Cake and Pumpkin Cake's Sneeze-iversary." So I guess it's their first sneeze, and Pinky wants to celebrate it because Pinky celebrates everything. And she cracks out this super sticky silly string, and all over Sugar Cube Corner. So not only is it all over Sugar Cube Corner, but it's also all over Rarity's beautiful, lovely mane. And Rarity is like, oh my god, I can't get this out, Pinky. What did you do? What is this stuff? And she's like, oh, it's extra super sticky silly string. And Rarity's like, Pinky, I have a shoot for photo finish and stuff. And she wants to take a picture of the best manes in Equestria or something like that. And she's like, oh, don't worry, we can get this off. And she tries getting pound cake and pumpkin cake off the floor. But that stuff really is sticky. So she grabs out a crowbar, and tries to take them off, but still no use. And Rarity is over here, oh my mane's ruined. This is not going to be good. And then this is where they get the idea of going to Zecora's, because Zecora, she whips up a bunch of different spells that actually work, and they're thinking, Pinky, why don't we just go over to Zecora's? Maybe she'll find something for you to remove all the silly string, and me for getting the silly string off my mane. And so they're like, yeah, that's a good idea, let's go. And so finally, guys, we get to see Zecora, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. So, I did want to actually say something before we actually get into Zecora's place. I've noticed something very different, and I think you guys picked this up too. Now I know it shouldn't just be me, but do you guys notice Zecora's house is a lot different than what we've been used to seeing in the past seasons when we left off with Zecora? I think we left off with Zecora in Season 4. Season 4. Yeah, her house looked a lot different. Now, it looks a lot more bulkier, and the tree looks a lot more bigger. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like this design. I think I like it a little more better than what her previous design of her house looked like. It looks more roomier. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there, just in case you guys didn't catch that or anything. But, yes, so, Pinky and Rarity go into Zecora's hut in the Everfree Forest, as always. And this is where Zecora is there, and she's like, what brings you to my lovely hut? And she's like, they're like, well, we need something to remove really sticky silly string, and we need something to take this silly string out of Rarity's mane, because she has a shoot with photo finish the next day. And Zecora actually finds two bottles, two liquids, one containing shampoo, of course for Rarity's mane, and the other a removing potion. I don't know why I couldn't say that. For Pinkie Pie's silly string. So, then this is where Zecora brings up something about Rarity's mane and stuff like that. Oh, there could be some side effects. It might not look as good, but it will still come back. You just gotta give it time. And this is where Rarity freaks out, as usual, because that's how Rarity does her little thing. Yeah, she freaks out, and when she freaks out, she hits the table with the two, the shampoo and the remover, and they drop on the floor. They don't break or anything, thank God. I thought they were. But anyway, Rarity picks one up, and since these things aren't labeled or anything, of course we assume Rarity's going to grab the wrong one. So in this case, she did. And she's like, oh my god, I hope this all goes well, Zecora. I hope you're wrong about this whole thing. And she's like, more than likely it will work. Just go and it should be all good. And then, so Rarity is on her way, and Pinkie Pie is still at Zeccora's hut, and she's talking about, ooh, is this going to make everything sparkly clean? And, of course, the soy string is going to be removed and stuff, but, will it work? And Zeccora's like, yes, but I think you have some attending to go back to Sugar Cube Corner. And Pinkie doesn't get it, and she's like, what do you mean? And, she's like, giving her another riddle, and Pinkie goes, pfft. Zecora, I know you're trying to get me to go back. I know hints and stuff like that. So, yeah, and Zecora just kind of rolls her eyes and proceeds back to whatever she was doing. And this is where we get a cutscene to Rarity in the shower, saying, oh, this, stuff, I hope it works. Pours it on her head and rubs it. And she comes out and reveals her mane. She's like, oh, my mane's gonna look so beautiful. Takes off the towel, and oh my god, her mane is a disaster. So, yeah. Not a good day. She had a bad hair day. And this isn't the first time Rarity has had something done to her mane, as all our fellow Pegasisters and Brodies know. But this is not good for Rarity. She's freaking out, and she's like, oh my god, what am I going to do? So, she decides to go back to the Zeccora's hut, and she's like, we got an issue. And Zecora questions her, why do you have that, robe on? Why are you covering yourself? And Rarity's like, oh boy. And she takes it off, and Zecora is really shocked, and this is where Rarity makes a claim saying, okay, Zecora, you could have just acted like it was nice. You didn't have to show it. So Rarity feels a little more worse. Zecora sees this is horrible, and Rarity grabbed the wrong stuff. And back at Pinkie's place, she opens up the bottle, and it is bubbles, bubbles, bubbles everywhere. Pinkie Pie is super ecstatic, and they're just having fun. But yeah, not good. And Rarity and Zecora think about this. Oh boy. Pinkie's got the wrong stuff too. She's got the shampoo. You got the remover. So, that's not good at all. So, Rarity's like, oh my god, is there like a spell or a cure that could fix up my mane and get ready for tomorrow? And this is where Zecora is like, there is a way, but it's very, very risky. Manes are not the easiest thing to do at all. It is not a quick fix, if that's what you're expecting. And this is where Rarity is very, very, not herself. She's very upset. She wants to be all ready up for, her shoot with photo finish, but, it's not looking good. So she's thinking everything's hopeless, it's not going to work, everything's ruined, she's gonna have to cancel. All this stuff is going through her mind, and Zecora is like, just wait it off, I will get something ready for you, Rarity, just calm down and come back later. And so Rarity goes off, and she grabs out her list of stuff that she needed to do for the day. So basically all the stuff that we seen in the first scene of, the episode, she goes back to those, ponies to get whatever she ordered or needed. Yeah, so she goes there, but she's wearing that cape once again, or the thing to cover her mane, and, ponies are still, color coordinating their manes, and this is where Rarity says, oh, hi, Rose, I was just here yesterday, and she's like, I need to see your mate, and Rarity's like, pardon? And then this is where some pony bumps right into her, and picks, Golden Harvest, I think it was. She picks out her bouquet, and Rarity is feeling, oh god, this is gonna work, so let me head back to Quills and Sofas. And she does, and there are a huge bunch of ponies gathered around this place, and there's the yellow sofa that Rarity ordered, in the window, and this is where the Quills and Sofa pony says, now hold on, this is reserved for one special pony. I can order other ones. And this is where Rarity's like, oh, thank you so much for saving that for me. But this is where other ponies step in and say, oh, I'll give you a bid, I'll give you 10 times more than what that previous pony is going to give. And then another pony says, oh, I will give you triple more than what he said. And the bidding begins, and the Quills and Ponies obviously is going to take their choice or their price because it's a lot higher than what Rarity asked for. So Rarity trots off, and nothing seems good at all with her new disguise. So this is where Rarity kind of goes to Twilight's kingdom, or the Castle of Friendship, as we know. And she's over here laying on a couch while Starlight and Twilight are questioning her. Rarity, you know, it's not all half bad. Your mane will grow back, you know. And she's like, oh, you think it's all pretty and nice? And this is where Starlight says, well, how bad could it be? Rarity unveils the bad hair with a light, and she's like, this doesn't look bad to you? And this is where Twilight and Starlight are like, eee. And Rarity's like, oh, girls, it's useless. I won't be ready for tomorrow. It won't work. I need my beautiful mane, and there's no way this would win it. Then we see Zecora, run into the kingdom, or the castle, and she bursts through the door and says, Rarity, it's done. I got it all together for you. And Rarity's like, oh, really? That's awesome. So everything's going to work out now. And I'm going to get my mane back. I'll be able to go shoot that photo with Photo Finish on the magazine. And yeah, everything's all fine and dandy. But while Rarity gives Zecora a hug and she tells her all this, Zecora's like, unfortunately that's not a case. It's gonna take a couple of weeks or so. And Rarity goes back to her sad, mopey stage again. And yeah, not good. So, this is where Twilight, I think, gives support to Rarity and says, why not ask a couple of our friends what they would do? Maybe they can help you out with your mane and stuff. She's like, maybe, but I don't know how good it's gonna work. And Applejack first takes her to her farm, and Rarity questions her, so Applejack, why did you bring me to the farm? How is this going to help my lovely mane? Or she's like, used to be my lovely mane. And Applejack's like, oh, we have something that actually makes other ponies think we have more workers on the farm. And there's this one pony milking the cows, and she looks like a different pony. And this is where Applejack says, it's not a different pony though, it's just Granny Smith in a disguise. And Rarity, I think, mentions something, oh, I'm wearing a disguise right now. And she's like, but look, this one has hair, and it looked just good on you. It would look amazing. Puts it on Rarity, and Rarity's like, Applejack, I don't think so. And the bird comes, pecks at the piece of hair, and it later discover it's hay. It falls off, and the bird flies, and Applejack kind of laughs. And then we go to Rainbow Dash, and she's like, okay, you need a mane? I got something for you. Goes in the clouds, grabs a cloud, puts it on Rarity's head, flies around it to give it a nice hairdo style, and boom, it actually looks really good. It's white, but it still looks good. It's really curly, kind of like Rarity's mane. So, seems all good. Rarity's very ecstatic, and she says this is going to be a lovely mane. Photo Finish is going to be very pleased. So as Rarity trots away, the cloud really doesn't want to go with her. It's not portable. So Rainbow Dash says, "Oh man," and Rarity looks and she's like, "Oh, it's useless. It's never going to work." And then she goes over to Fluttershy's, and the bear finds a bush, puts it on her head, and kind of puts twigs in it to make it kind of look pretty. Rarity's not pleased at all. She says it looks like I hid in like somewhere and just got my mane all dirty and all looking. It doesn't look good. And so Rarity heads back to her house, Carousel Boutique, and yeah, she is crying, as we can hear, as the main 6 approach her house and find her in the dark, laying on her sofa, eating frozen ice cream, because that's just how Rarity tries to help herself when things don't go according to plan. But this is where they're like, "Oh, Rarity, we tried everything for you. Nothing seems to work. What can we do?" And then she's like, "Girls, I don't think at this point we can do anything." She's like, "I'm just going to have to cancel until photo finish. We're going to have to wait." But she's like, "I don't think that's going to be a good enough answer for her for the beautiful mane competition or for the magazine." And this is where I think one of the ponies kind of inspire her and tell her, you have done a lot of generous things in your life. That's why you're the element of generosity. You gave a sea creature your tail. You cut it off for him so you could fix his beautiful mustache. And then you gave things that you needed for something to another pony that really needed a little more than you did. And it's just been so nice of you. And the ponies that you helped in Manhattan, when you weren't having such a good day, it's just been awesome. So why is this so different, Rarity? And Rarity's like, "You know what? You do bring up a good point." She's like, "Maybe I just need to think about something." So Rarity hops into her changing station, grabs clothes, and this is where the main 6 are like, "Rarity, are you okay?" Throws something together. Oh my god, guys. I think this is like my favorite version of Rarity I have ever seen. Rarity has this amazing kind of style, like punk style to her. She has bling on her a little bit. Her mane's very colorful. It consists of purple, yellow, and I think green. Yeah, green. And it's a really nice color. So the main 6 are ecstatic, and they're like, "Wow, you look so amazing. That mane is so amazing." And they're like, "Really?" She's like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, let's see how other ponies think." So she goes back to her previous things, as she's done a couple of times, to try doing her chores. Not joking, you guys. Everywhere she walks, every pony is looking at her mane and saying, "Oh my god, that mane is gorgeous." And it's just fabulous. So they go to her different places in Ponyville. Yeah, so they look, and they're like, "Wow, this is amazing. I love this mane. Where'd you get it?" And she kind of helps out other ponies along the way, saying, as much as I said before, you gotta kind of have a lovely mane and all that, you gotta have some sort of style, and maybe you try this now. Not just one thing, but 2 things. So she helps those ponies out. She gets requests, her things that she needed. She got her sofa, her flowers, and I think she got a fan too. I'm not sure. But yeah. So Rarity is feeling good, but she realized, I'm not going to make the paper. I don't think photo finish is going to look as beautiful as my mane used to look like. So this is where Pinkie looks at a newsstand, and she's like, "Oh, Rarity, I think you might want to take a look at this." And Rarity's like, "Not now, Pinkie. Now's not a good time." And she's like, "I really think you want to." Kind of shoves the newspaper in her face. Rarity's like, "Now, Pinkie, I told you I don't wanna." And she looks at the newspaper, and it's her beautiful mane on the front page of the Daily News. And she looks, and there's more information about it. And she's very confused. She's like, "How? I didn't invite Photo Finish to come over here to take a look at my mane and stuff." And this is where Twilight explains, "No, you didn't, but we did. We, all 5 of us, asked her if she could come and take photo shots of your beautiful mane for the copy, because we know that's what you really wanted. And just all the things you've done for ponies and stuff, we couldn't say no." And this is where Rarity's like, "Wow, thank you so much, girls," and gives them a hug. But that's not the end of the episode yet, guys. This is where 2 weeks later, she has her original mane grown back to beautiful beauty, and she kind of questions Applejack. "Applejack, is my mane looking good as it used to?" And Applejack's like, "For the 20th time, Rarity, it looks fine." She's like, "It looks amazing, as always, so you don't have to worry. It doesn't look different from last time." And she's like, "Oh, good." And then Twilight's like, "Rarity, you might want to look at this." All the town's ponies are wearing the same punk mane design as Rarity did when her mane was all bleh. And she's just like, "Wow, my mane, my not-so-good mane that I transformed, actually got every pony in Ponyville to have the same mane style." And she's just shocked. So, yeah, and they kind of laugh about it and stuff, and they're like, "Well, I guess your previous mane wasn't so bad after all." And that's the episode, guys, right there. Wow. Alright. So I'm gonna actually get a drink of water, because that was quite, an episode there. Woo! I just gotta say, guys, this episode was fantastic. Just a lot of good in this, you know? I personally don't really enjoy too many of Rarity episodes, but oh my god, this episode was great. I really liked it. So, yeah, I know it's an episode about the main 6, and I know some of us are tired of seeing main 6 episodes, but personally, this Rarity episode was pretty good. I don't really have, like, too many bad things to say about it, except, you know, Rarity could found out, you know. I know Rarity's in a rush a lot of the time, but when she knocked over the bottles and stuff, she should have asked Zecora, Zecora, I think I mixed these up. I don't know if this is the right one or something. And that probably would have been the realistic thing that would have happened. But, you know, they kind of did a good job of covering that up, because Rarity is very rushed into what she does, but she also wants to make the best out of it. So that's kind of how this was set up. So yeah, it was just very well explained and a very good story. And like I said, Rarity's mane in that last scene when she got inspired and she fixed up her bad mane was absolutely fantastic. I think that's my most favorite version of Rarity. The colors look nice. I like how Rainbow Dash in that one scene, when she's like, "Your mane looks amazing," and I was like thinking to myself, is it because it kind of looks like yours, Rainbow? It's nice and colorful, and yeah, it's stylish. So yeah, and it just was funny how every pony in Ponyville were walking with the same mane style as Rarity used to have. It just was funny. So I give this one a thumbs up, absolutely. Yeah, it was really nice, and yeah, just all the nice little moral support from her friends and all that. It was really good, and it talked a lot about, how generous she is, how giving she is. So, yeah, it was really, really awesome. So, guys, I definitely, get this episode a lot. I really understand the lesson in this, no matter how bad things go, and just how giving of a person you are, good things will come. So never forget that. But guys, I think we're going to call that an episode right there. So thank you all so much for watching this podcast. And if you have any suggestions or comments about this, whether you liked it, things they could have changed, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys want to join the Pony Talk podcast, also leave your comments down below saying you want to join, and it could be your lucky day. I could sign you up, and yeah. So, on that note, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, favorite, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. And as always, we will see you in the next Pony Talk podcast, guys. Peace out. Bye!